Welcome viewers to our show in conversation with Taha. Today on demand, I have Rabia Khan back on the show. We are recording this show on the 9th death anniversary of Jia Khan. Um, I will be talking to Rabia about a few things that were missed out or updates which have happened since the last time we interviewed her. Rabia, I welcome you once again in my show.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Your background looks very beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Looks
Thank
like
you.
the
This
weather
is
is very nice.
the weather is getting better in London now. So let's hope we enjoy the same summer as you are enjoying in Greece at the moment. Um, Rabia, let's go straight into the questions that I have prepared for you today. We know that BBC did a documentary on Gia's murder case in India, which was telecast on BBC Three. What did you think about the idea of such a documentary, which was called Documentary on Death in Bollywood?
Uh, a good question. Yes, actually, BBC had the intention of exposing the uh, death, who killed Jia Khan. I remember, it started with Observer coming with an article, who killed Jia Khan, and not death in Bollywood, because death in Bollywood, then there is death of Disha Salian and SSR and so many other deaths that has happened in Bollywood. So it was not primarily exposing the death in Bollywood, but it was only on Jia. So the title should have been Who Killed Jia Khan? So that was BBC's intention, initial intention, to expose the corruption among the authorities like police and CBI, that how they have tried to cover the whole investigation by not doing or pursuing with investigation. But it didn't happen because, as you have seen in the documentary, BBC has specifically said that they approached the police and they approached CBI officers and they all declined. They declined to cooperate because for reasons, it's not that it is not known to anybody. It was very well known that the authorities want to hide their own people. They want to cover their own people who were involved in sabotaging the evidences and covering the case and not investigating for their vested interest.
I'm sure you must have read the article which came out a few days back saying that the Indian authorities, I mean, it was said raided, but it is not. After that, they changed it to, they served a notice to Twitter's office in Delhi and Gurgaon. Do you think the Indian government is suppressing the voice of social media, people like yourself, people from BBC or any other Western media, which is trying to investigate cases like Gia's case?
It was very shocking for me to see what BBC was capable of doing and not done. So when I watched the documentary and I saw, okay, all they have done is they have put the characters, that this is Jia Khan, this is Jia Khan's background, and this is the mother, these are her sisters, this is the family. She got educated in London, raised there, and she had everything for herself, all that. And then the accused, Suraj Pancholi, what his background, what his father is like, what his mother is like, what sister, and how they thought processes. That's all. They haven't touched the corruption point at all. They have, yes, brought from the panel, the independent lawyer and human rights QC, but who are expressing their views. But everything, when I see as it was supposed to be, according to the BBC documentary, documentary means to be documented, was
Correct.
not done, was suppressed somehow. So obviously it is very clear, like what I'm seeing in India, that the media is being suppressed. Media is not supposed to, because media has become a narrative. Media has become a great influence. People are more educated, people are listening, and not only blindly listening or seeing or listening, but also analyzing, using their intellect and trying to change the narrative that has been oppressed by the government, that tell this to the people. Because I remember in my case, the police was telling me, please tell the media and tell the public that police is doing everything, and you trust police.
I want to come in here for a moment, because I want to ask you then, I have seen Indian channels talking to you, and they were highlighting the case of Jia when SSR, so Sushant's case was really hotting up in the Indian media. It seemed at that time the Indian media was supporting you, but all of a sudden the table turned with the BBC documentary. What do you think, in your opinion, has happened there?
uh, Table turned in BBC. BBC documentary has not been released in India. So
No. My point
Indians
was, my
have not
point
seen it.
was, no. My point was that the Indian media initially was supporting you a lot. But what we have seen in the BBC Three documentary is they have not unearthed, or they have not talked about the points which were highlighted by the Indian media
Because
with you.
because officially those people have not seen it. If pirated, or through some other sources, if they have seen, they can't speak about it, is because it has not been officially
No.
documented
Sorry.
that it has been released.
I think
This
I
is
think my question is not that. My question was that initially, when you were being interviewed by the Indian media, when
yeah.
the SSR case had just happened, we are talking about last year and the beginning of this year, you were given a lot of media in support of Jia. But seeing what has happened with Twitter now, and seeing what is happening with Jia's case now with the Indian media, it seems that they are being suppressed too. That was my question.
I won't say it has been suppressed, Taha, but I
Mhm.
think there too much had happened in that due time course, like how
Okay.
they suppressed Arnab, who was raising
Okay.
voice and who was
Mhm.
exposing the truth and who was bringing the truth out. So it was too much for the authorities. Yeah, do you understand me? To
Yes,
see
yes, yes.
all that shit
Mhm.
coming out.
Right.
So what they did with Arnab was, I mean, it is so, it's cruel in its own way. How they try to suppress the voice, because public, why Arnab got so much support? Because public believed him, because it was
Mhm.
believable, and
Okay.
he was exposing the authorities. For
Okay.
that
Okay.
reason, they
Mhm.
mistreated him.
Okay.
To a sense that he had death threats on his head.
Right.
So
Right. And you
obviously
think
after that,
he was arrested because of that
yeah, he was
reason when he was?
arrested, and it was question of life and death for him.
I
And we
see.
have seen that. My heart went out, and I was scared. I was
Mhm.
scared for him, because
I
he's an
see.
innocent man. He
Right.
is
Right.
innocent, who is speaking, that bringing out the truth, that you can't do these things. It is not, every human life is so unique, and you can't do these things to innocent souls.
That
So
is very true.
that is why.
That is very
And they how they try to plant a case against him. So coming to this, that media is playing a great role today, and public knows that, and the authorities know that. For that reason, it has been completely manipulated. For example, even in COVID, COVID took over by swarm, and
right.
that also was manipulated, and a lot of propaganda about the countries and all that had to be hidden. It was completely spoiling the image of the government, ruling government, and the leaders. So they had to manipulate and suppress the media, because it would open the eyes of the public.
Okay. Now, you picked up a very good point today. Even today, I think we are talking about how social media is influencing the traditional media, how the new media is going to influence the social media, the traditional media, because on social media, at least in the Western countries, you can't suppress. This is the impression. But at the same time, we have seen what Facebook has done when we are talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict, or
Yeah,
what India has done to
complete.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Where do you think, if you had to raise your voice today on social media or on traditional media, where do you think you will get the most support? Will it be in the Western media, or will it be in the Indian media?
Taha, actually, if you look at it today, the whole perception on Jia's Disha and SSR case has been given the truth. So the perception of public is already asserted. You understand me? So even the authorities know that people are not foolish, and now they are afraid actually that whatever they will do, public is not going to spare them, because public perception is that they know the truth and the truth is being hidden. So I have already spoken. I've spoken about everything. The truth is out there. Now it is them who are afraid. What do we do? How are we going to say that this officer has hidden it, or this officer commanded us to hide the evidence, or this officer told the doctors not to write what they want to write, not what the doctors see? So all that exposure, we are left not in who killed Jia Khan, because they know who killed, and that is why they are telling so many lies, and they are building the mountain of lies. Now the question is, whose face they are going to hide? The officers involved. So
Yes.
it is a very big it's a very big game, larger conspiracy, and larger than life game. It's a larger than life conspiracy. It's not just one criminal who went and killed out of his own vested interest, or whatever the reason was, and established the cause of death of these three innocent souls. It is who told which officer not to do this, not to expose the truth. And is that officer going to be questionable? And who is going to question that officer? So it is a big cabal. It is just not me telling the truth. The truth is out there, Taha.
Good. So you have answered my question. The public perception, because of the social media, is what it is today. Traditional media has a part in it. It makes me remember one dialogue from my young days from a Hindi film which said, "Ye jo public hai, ye sab janti hai." This is the public; they know everything. And today we are to thank the social media for that, to let the public know exactly from you, the person who's suffered the most, what has happened to Jia. Good. My next question is: do you think, now we've touched upon this, but particularly, do you think the law enforcement in India, the authorities, are cherry picking the cases to what they want the public to know about?
Sorry, repeat your question. I got disturbed.
So the authorities are cherry picking the cases to tell the public what is happening, rather than what should actually be in the public domain.
You see, what I have seen, yes, all the cases are cherry picked. When they have their own agenda, like Antalya case of Mukesh Ambani, they went all the way to expose the truth. There was no fear or anything. Everyone was so fearless, and every truth was coming out. Then the digital, they went to the height of diving into the river and bringing out all the evidences. In Jia's case, till today, in the last hearing, due to COVID, every hearing is delayed, and next date is given. Until today, the CBI is requesting the court to tell the police to please give the evidence. So the evidence has not been collected. The evidence are perhaps again thrown maybe in the river or in the sea. Who knows? Who knows if the court has got the evidence or not? So in Antalya case, wasn't that cherry picking? That you will go all the way into the river and dive down and bring. In my case, CBI says, oh, the accused is not giving the password, so we cannot get into the digital to get all the messages. Excuse me. In Antalya case, you went all the way, and you say that nothing is deleted in digital world, and you got everything from the past also exposed. So this is cherry picking, no? That is very important, because it's an important person. Yes. Mr. Mukesh Ambani is a very important person.
There is evidence, very strong evidence in Jia's case, which is her phone, I believe, which you have been asking.
BlackBerry. Yes, the GPS
the BlackBerry,
and the BlackBerry message. Yes. I gave them the digital forensic report Do you
Okay.
understand me? From the forensic department, that nothing in the digital world is deleted. And now in Antalya case, they went and they got everything from the Indian laboratories. They didn't need FBI or any other agency from the world.
Yeah.
How did that happen? So I watched the Antalya case and I was heartbroken. And I said, if Mr. Mukesh Ambani is very important to us, our children are also very important to us.
Important to us. Yes. Yes. That is
So
absolutely true.
why cherry pick?
Again, my point is, you think the justice system is fooling the law enforcement bodies in India. The justice system is as such that it allows the law enforcement to fool.
I am, my whole concept about the justice system actually is completely blurred. I cannot even say that who is supposed to, what is justice? Justice is that a judge is sitting over there. He's not an investigating officer. He is not a forensic scientist. He says, give me the evidence. And who are supposed to bring the evidence? So the keeper of law and order actually has been given to wrong people who is not bringing the evidence. So what can a judge do? Judge will say, lack of evidence. Sorry, I can't do anything. So what can I say about the justice system? Yep. So the law and order has gone into wrong hands. And Vaze and Parambir Singh's episodes, as we heard last time, exposed that there is a lot of money extortion. There is a lot of influence or whatever influence, whether entertainment, whether women, whether drugs, whether money, whether power, whether status or positions, any influence is used. And these officers, they are under pressure or oppressed or probably get lured into this influences.
So but has there been any reference made to this very case regarding Jia's case, saying that, when you could extract all this information in the case of Mukesh Ambani, why are you not able to extract all that information in Jia's case?
Well, so far, I am ready actually to say this to CBI, but unfortunately, because of COVID, and so the hearing has been, being postponed. But this is my question. First of all, my question is, the day CBI had submitted the application of getting evidences, I said, what did you do 6 years ago? Why now suddenly you're wanting evidences? Why did you not get after the court then that police is not giving me evidence I wanted? Because CBI officers were under the Maharashtra government pressure not to approach the courts. At the end of the day, the courts are also in Maharashtra. It is the government, the ruling party. If the ruling parties are influenced by the criminals of Bollywood, then what is CBI going to do? So when this Antalya case happened and Arnab Goswami raised so many questions and exposed them, that is when CBI, I had a meeting with the director of CBI. It was a half-an-hour meeting and it took 6 hours for me to sit down and give them the whole showdown evidence. And the 300 pages of their own report. I said, I have done your homework, what you are supposed to do. And then there are many, many criteria in CBI. They don't get the finance. They get the money from the accused, from the criminals, not to investigate. So why will they take money from maybe peanuts from the government to investigate when they are getting higher amount from the criminals not to investigate, to keep quiet, to be silent?
And are you going to raise this point in front of the judge in the next hearing?
Well, I am right now, I am watching that what judge is going to say to CBI that, yes, you investigate further, because that is what CBI is wanting. They want to investigate into BlackBerry. They want to investigate into the ligature and get the forensic report of the ligature. For 9 years, you did not do that. Do you understand me? 9 years, you have not done it. And you put a charge sheet and you say, and the accused have the audacity to say that, oh, I'm very influential, so I am actually influencing the CBI and the courts. I mean, give me a break. I don't have ministers and Maharashtra government in my pocket as the accused, and their whole influence has got on them. Not me.
Right. Right.
I am not, I am a very common mother, like any common person.
Of this, a thought comes to me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you not fearful that something can happen to you? Have they threatened you in any way? Because, it sounds like these people can go to any extent to do anything from what you have explained till now. Have they ever threatened you in any way?
Yeah, they were threatening me in the very beginning, but then when they must be very confident, oh, now CBI and officers, police is not going to do anything because there is no evidence, because they must be very confident now the evidences are not there, and let it be delayed. So they know how to delay it. They know what money or influence effects, using leaders, using your influential powers, whether it is underworld, whether it is a ruling governing, what bodies, whatever it is, they know who to call for. You understand me? So they are confident. What will they do killing me? Another crime on the head? Another crime on the head? Or is it a trophy on the head?
I couldn't even begin to think if they could do something like that. But maybe today you can appeal to the public from this very platform, and let's begin a movement for Jia once again. COVID is nearly finished. Yes, there is a lot of COVID talk happening, but by the time today we are on 3rd June when we release this interview, why can't we appeal to the public and start a campaign online on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything, and start pushing once again?
You see, I do understand that COVID has been in advantage to the criminals, because this has happened many times whenever the judge also brought to the core question and questioned the CBI officers and the police, the judge was replaced. Yes. Many times in my case, judges have been replaced, and this has been happened, which was in case of Antilia, it was exposed that exactly what was happening. Now talking about justice, it is their duty. If they are not doing their duty, tomorrow it will be their children. Do you think then that will be the noise? They will be begging public to come on the street and give them justice? For example, like Mr. Waze and Parambir Singh. Did public stand by them?
Correct.
No.
Correct. You're absolutely
public
right.
Got the picture. Public got the picture that if you are a good officer, you will do your duty. You will die and do your duty, because you have taken that pledge.
Yes, you've taken that oath. Absolutely correct.
You understand the point? You have taken that pledge that I will die until I serve my country. And what are you doing? You're not serving your country. You are creating more corruption.
Correct.
If tomorrow, if yesterday there were 10 people, today there are 10,000 people corrupt. So you can't blame one particular person who is trying to say, yes, we are infested with corruption. It is very badly infested.
I'm going to come back.
No, sorry.
I'm going to come back to the shores of UK for a minute. Has the Home Office or the Foreign Office helped you in any way in the last maybe 6 months, 12 months towards the case of Jia?
Once when these officers, when these leaders and MPs or ministers, when they want vote, they give you an assurance. They bring out the cases and they say, look, this government did this, and we will bring it justice. We will bring like SSR case. How many votes? Come on, let's go to Bihar. Let's go to Patna. Let's go to Assam and fight and gain all those votes. In that hope that SSR will get justice. So once they become leaders and they get the seat, Do they care? I am sorry. I am speaking the truth. The leaders, after they get the seat, they don't care.
Is it the same in the UK as well? Because my question was related to the UK Foreign
Everywhere is the
Office
same.
and the
Yes,
UK Home Office.
no, they didn't care. The Home Office
Okay.
or the local MP or whatsoever, nobody cared about to ask me. I wrote to everyone.
Okay.
I approached everyone, and they said, the only thing they said, we are in communication, but that is not our jurisdiction. It happened in India. So India, it is not in our jurisdiction. So the jurisdiction becomes the bigger barrier.
Right.
So
but
if
they
say
but
that
they can
anything
extradite
happens,
but they can extradite Indian citizens from the UK on the request of India, but they cannot interfere in the jurisdiction of India where a British citizen was killed.
because that is monetary now. There is a gain over there. Yeah,
Yes.
what is the gain over here? Yeah, that there
Yes,
is a
and
loss
now
already.
and now I understand the bias of the BBC in the documentary, because it's
Yeah.
not just the government of India, it is also the government of UK which is interfering in what the BBC is showing, because we can see what the government is doing to the BBC right now in the UK.
Because they will say,
About the review.
what are you going to gain out of it? With the
Absolutely.
monetary thing, at least, there is a big money playing. There's a
Correct.
bigger gain.
Correct. Yeah.
In getting
I understand.
justice, you are asking for the government to spend the money.
Correct. Do you think that the BBC will do another documentary on Jia if you were to approach them and tell them the biases they have done in the previous one?
I am not interested in approaching BBC or BBC coming to me and requesting me that they want to rectify something or the other, or BBC has done what they can or what they could in that circumstances, whatever their obstacles were, whatever was it. Now I have to say that they could only depict characters and left it for public to analyze, and use their own brain and use their own intellect.
Yes.
Because there was no cooperation of Indian authorities or any Indian CBI, for instance, who got the case from the police and not getting evidence from police and not getting cooperation from police. They could have cooperated with BBC if they were interested in exposing the truth.
Yeah. So you think the media also has been judgmental on some level?
How is media judgmental?
No,
media is being suppressed. Media is being suppressed. Media is not being given cooperation. Media is told, oh, I will only cooperate if you write this or if you show this.
Okay. So
you understand?
There is
Even
nothing.
in BBC documentary, the accused came because probably he thought that this is one platform, he will be given a chance, do you understand me, to fool people.
Right.
Which he did fool
change
people.
the perception
in
his
people.
favor.
Yeah. He tried to fool people, but people are not foolish.
Understood.
Yeah.
Ravia, time is of essence. I will have to stop us here. But before we go, I would like you to give a message to our viewers on the 9th death anniversary of Jia. And I would like you to urge the public using this platform to start a movement again. That would be my last message to you.
Look, it's been 9 years, and for grieving parent, time is no limit. There is no such thing I can say that I have moved on. I am frozen where I am, and my daughter lives with me, within me, and around me all the time. And that is one thing that I'm out of, is the denial that I was for last 5-6 years. Now the fact is that she's in spirit form with me, and I will only say this to the public, that yes, Jia, SSR, and Disha have opened your eyes. They have told you that live in reality and truth. Don't get disillusioned, and don't believe these authorities until as they ask you for evidence, you ask for the evidence of what they are saying. If they say that Jia was depressed and committed suicide, show me then how she was depressed. Show me how she committed suicide. Because CBI report says it is the accused who is saying she committed suicide. It's not CBI who's saying.
Thank you so
don't
much,
believe
Rabia.
these people, yeah. And fight for
Thank-
justice. Keep on fighting for SSR, because that innocent child needs to be given peace. And so does Disha Saleh and Jia Khan. We
Great.
have to protect
Thank
our
you.
children.
Thank you, Rabia. Thank you
Taha.
so much.
So much.
Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on the show once again. And I look forward to talking to you more after we have got feedback regarding this interview. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, Taha. Thank you. Bye-bye.